Good morning, I'm Debbie,
And I'm Christina.
and we are with Worldwide Title, also known as the Title Rebels.
That's us in the flesh. I'm actually really excited about this idea and a way for us to be able to talk about current trends, bring light to a lot of difficult situations that we go through or that are behind the scenes. And it's important for you to know a little into what we do and what we deal with. Right, so some current trends in the market. I mean, I would say that we've seen quite an uptick in residential
have.
real estate.
We definitely have.
From seeing buyers that are still aggressively working to get those homes, or more importantly, the professionals that work with them to get in and get that house under contract.
Yes, we're definitely seeing more and more people, especially as it's getting closer to, I hate to say it, the end of summer, getting closer to school starting. People know that they have to accept the interest rates of what they are to get these houses right now.
No, I absolutely agree. Especially we had a trusted, attorney of ours that shared that within July 4th weekend, they had gotten 15 new residential contracts. And to hear that type of number is really remarkable because it's so spread out right now, right? We see that we have clients that are so busy, but then unfortunately there are other clients that are not. And, how does that happen? Does that happen because you have some that are clearly working much harder? Or do you have some that are continuing to rest on the laurels that the market is extremely challenging and they're going to wait to
See what happens?
see what happens?
That's just a little bit of both.
No, I absolutely agree. And when it comes to what we do, when it comes to title, we know the importance of that. We know the importance of our job, and one thing that I think Debbie can attest to is getting the SOS phone call.
Oh, yes. We had just, 2 weeks ago,
I think it was 2 weeks ago, yeah.
where, we understand everybody has their relationships with their attorneys, their title companies, their lenders, and we respect that. But at the end of the day, they know that when there is an emergency, they do know who's going to get the job done for them. And they even say that. They say, we got the phone call from an attorney that we do a lot of business with, and he has other, relationships, and we, like I said, respect that. And he called and he said, look, he says, I know there's only one place that I can call right now to really get it done. And this was on a Thursday. And by Friday morning, actually Thursday afternoon, they had the title commitment, which they didn't even have a commitment yet from the other company. And it was, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah, we were told that it was 3 weeks in which they were still waiting for that title commitment. A title commitment can be done if you've got the right vendor partners. A title commitment can be, in essence, done within 48 to 72 hours.
And in some cases, 2 hours.
Yes, but we work hard for that.
We do work that.
That actually has
thrive.
been-
We actually thrive on that.
We thrive on
We do
that.
thrive on that.
We thrive under pressure. And again, it's absolutely the baseline of our success over the years.
It is. It's what made it. That definitely is.
It's also nice, too, that as the residential real estate market continues to open up, it's bringing back a lot of old clients that we really haven't had the chance to work with over the years. Of course, since the bombshell dropped 3 years ago.
Boom.
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 So with all of that, it gives us an opportunity to still show those clients that the service in which they received then
Has never changed.
has never changed, regardless of the fact that our name is on the door, and it shows
It's
a
the only-
lot
it's
of
the only way-
loyalty and
It's the only
respect.
way it works. Because, a title company, they're the same across, they're a nickel, they're a dime a dozen, a title company.
That is correct.
And,
right?
across the board, there's the regulations. It's the customer service, it's what we do that makes us stand out ahead of the, I don't want to say ahead of the rest.
No,
but
we don't want to
it
use
makes-
that. We don't want to use that
No,
slogan.
but it makes us, it's
Puts us at the forefront, I think, as to one of the most respected agencies, compared to others that are, the pillars, and, some of the largest title companies in the state of New Jersey. And we know what comes with that. A sloppy product employees that could truly care less. Not all of them, but it just gives some light into what they know, how they go about structuring and being open to their customers on who we are and what we do.
Right. So to circle back to, we had the commitment out by the end of the day.
Yes.
You had the HUD out by Friday,
Friday afternoon, I think,
and by Monday,
which was the scheduled closing date.
by Monday,
closed.
we got them to that table smoothly, and it closed.
So from order entry to closing, that transaction completed in 72 business hours.
Yes.
The bonus of that is the attorney who put trust in us, the attorney who stood up to the agent who wanted to use their title company, but then looking at it from a perspective of doing what's right for the buyer. If the buyer did not close on Monday, the buyer was going to be homeless.
Yep.
So at some points, you don't want to upset another vendor partner, a referral, anything of that nature in that relationship. Everybody respects those. But I was happy that for once we see a bit of the standing up and being able to communicate that, hey, this is not going to work out like we want. Let's pivot. Let's do a Ross. Right? And we're going to pivot and we're going to go to somebody who can get it done.
Yes.
We harp on that because it's critical, especially right now. We need to close the files very quickly. Okay, it's from attorneys, it's to realtors, it's to title. Everybody right now has deals that are few and far between. We're fortunate enough that we've been very blessed over the last number of months. And that speaks volumes. Actually, one of our recent wins, which was mind-blowing to be very honest, was that in the last, month, we've had 3 people that have called us from strictly looking at our Google reviews.
That was a bonus. Yes, it was.
You get the call of, hey, I'm buying a house. I saw your Google reviews. I'm going to call you back with the contract. What are the chances that that ever happens? Slim. This one actually followed through, came in. Gentleman was moving here from Hawaii, had some difficult, family
Oh my gosh.
items
He
that
could-
are going
He could
on.
write a book about this stuff.
He
that's
could.
been
He
going
had
on with
some
him.
really, really difficult things going on, and we had him in, closed him in a matter of 3 weeks, and you don't hear that.
No.
Nobody really takes the time to actually do the research other than assuming that title companies are a dime a dozen. Okay? Everybody can be a shell. There are so many shells. But who can physically make a call, get it to who they need to, and actually get the solution in which they need? Then, of course, we're finding that right now, there's a lot of people that are doing deed transfers. That's actually 2 calls that we also received in the last month from folks that were finding us through our Google reviews. So we take that client just as we would take any client, any purchase transaction, giving them that bedside manner, if you shall say, that they need in difficult situations. Parents passed away. Other parents are getting older.
No matter what the situation, we're always there to help. We want to help anybody. We want to help everybody that we can help.
Well,
I mean,
of course we do. But there are other companies that may shy away from that because there's no money to be made. Likely, in a lot of instances, the deed prep that is done by our attorneys is a minimal cost at best, even if there would be a cost at all. There are times when they might do it pro bono just because they know the hardship of the individual on the other line. And then, of course, it's nothing more than what the clerk's office, charges us to record. That's actually a lot of some of the recent calls that we've been getting. And that also helps to make us a bit more well-rounded. People don't know that we only want to use them if they're coming to us with a transaction that's actually going to make money.
right?
It goes back down to our values.
It does.
Speaking of the deeds, we all chuckle. I think initially we were chuckling when we heard, and it started becoming a bit more common to hear about People stealing vacant land. Because you always wonder, how are people stealing my title? My title is tied to my house. My house is a physical structure.
It's deed fraud.
Yeah. Well, that's the politically correct way. But I feel like land stealing tends to
Well,
be.
it's two different things. Are we talking about the vacant land situations, or are we talking about deed fraud?
Well, we'll start with vacant land. We're seeing it a lot now because there are no homes. So where do people go? People go to vacant land. They get these transactions. They want to build this really pretty house. Well, we can thank COVID for being, I think, the originator of vacant land stealing. And that comes, I believe, from the fact that every county now does electronic recording.
Yes, they do.
So you come in, you see that a piece of land hasn't been touched, taxes maybe have not been paid. Maybe the last deed of record is 30 or 40 years ago. You've got a scammer that now actually, of course I knew that this, resources were there, but actually being able to falsify a driver's license or physical, documents that in essence, there's no need for it physically to be in your hand.
It's more it's more advanced than making the fake IDs in the basements.
Well, the fake IDs in the basements are definitely valid. I would state that that's the only way that I got through 5 years of college. And yes, I needed that extra one because I was not leaving. I was almost the female version of Van Wilder. If I could have gone another year without my parents forcing me to pay for that 5th year, maybe even a 6th year, shit, that would be amazing. A lot of people can attest to anyone that has seen some of my prior photos in my previous life.
Okay, squirrel, let's go back to where we were talking
True.
about.
I little squirreled that there. But with all of that, it's incredible. And I actually have a story on a vacant land issue that one of my agents recently ran into through a colleague. Piece of property in Asbury, right? Super hot spot. Everybody wants to get into Asbury. Vacant land. All good. Realtor was representing it. Client goes to just do a quick walkthrough. Thank God they wanted to do a walkthrough of this vacant piece of land on the day in which they were going to be wiring $85,000 to purchase this piece of land. While they're there, the house in which actually was on that piece of land, thank God the tenants were there. They came out and said, wait a minute. This piece of land is not for sale. This piece of land belongs to this house. But there was a realtor in which was truly contracted in to sell that piece of land. That is how far these scammers are taking these scams.
It's insane.
It is insane. But when it doesn't smell right, it's not right.
No.
So how our underwriters are really helping us as agents to help be more mindful, be more alert, more vigilant.
Yes, they are. But for a homeowner of any type, of even if it's vacant land or a home, what they are suggesting is at least once a year, have a search done. Have somebody look in that county search for you. Make sure you're that last deed that's still been put on record. Keep an eye on your bills when they're coming in. Or you're not getting, making sure you're still getting the bills that you're supposed to be getting.
That's actually a very, very good one.
Because if somebody went ahead and took your property to obtain another mortgage,
you're not getting those bills any longer.
Right.
That's actually very smart. Is to not be absent-minded.
And that's easy to do. Everybody's life is, hectic, chaotic. You're not thinking, oh my God, did somebody just steal my, my property? Am I not getting bills? Everybody's just in a robotic. Some people, it's a robotic.
Well, I think that, but it also comes to the fact that there's a lot of times that this land is inherited. This land has been again forgotten about. Once at this point you think about it, you might run into an opportunity where that land no longer belongs to you.
Well, I'm actually working with somebody right now, and it's been in the the property has been in the family for 70 years, and it's now turned, I think the Monmouth County Park System took it over. It's now part of a creek. These people have been paying taxes on it forever. And he wanted to show his father-in-law on his 97th birthday, I believe, where their property was that they've owned for all this time. And it's now being, the Monmouth County Park System just, ate it up. They didn't even know it. So now they just have the deed that they've had for 70 years of when they bought that property for $3,000.
It also then goes to show that municipal government and what we deal with local government and the state, they're going to do whatever they want. Whether they're in the wrong, whether they're in the right, whether they're in the indifferent, it does not matter.
No.
They make the mistakes. Everybody is still accountable except themselves. And I think actually you mentioned that with paying those taxes, are they going to get refunded all of those years worth of taxes?
They're actually working, I actually have been in contact with the tax assessor, I connected the tax assessor with them, and they are going to have to pay them back all those from the years that they've been paying. Because if they weren't paying their taxes, whether they owned it or not, that the municipality would have foreclosed on that property right away.
Well,
so.
Oh, absolutely. Again, look at all of the information that the traditional homeowner, or consumer for that matter, knows nothing about.
No.
You brought up something really good. You brought up doing a quick search on your property. You brought up, being mindful of, things that
Making
just
sure
don't sound right.
Making sure you're still getting the bills you're supposed to be getting, or are you getting a new bill, which you may not be getting that new bill. Because if somebody's going out of their way to do this, that bill's going to another address, and we know people can hide under people's names to get things done.
Well, I also was coming to the fact that a lot of people still do not know what we do. It's not just when you buy and you sell a house.
Yeah.
It's the people that are coming to us that do run into these problems, that are seeing, wait a minute, something isn't right. Or it's the tax office or code enforcement or somebody that's saying you need to speak to a title company. Mm-hmm. And that's where we bring light, we bring excitement.
Well, that's how we were able to. That's how the gentleman found us, is because when he went to find the property and he went to the county clerks, they said, you need to find a title company. And then he actually Googled title companies in the area and saw our 5-star reviews, and that was another phone call that we received. And I've been working with this gentleman for now over a month and a half, and his, that's just what we do. I mean, we're not getting anything out of this.
I was just going to say.
And he keeps saying to me, you've got to start charging me. No, I'm not, because, you have to help people out in situations like this.
Of course, because that's going to take us through always, right? Everybody always has in the bottom of their emails, referrals are the lifeline of my business. Well, referrals are the lifeline of our business too. And it's those small little things that we do that people will remember, and that's going to then, take them, specifically to us and bringing them, right? We all ask for referrals. We all ask for people that you've worked with from personal experience.
Well, just back to that one with the attorney and that we got done in, 72 hours. We now got another realtor out of that, because the other realtor was actually very happy that the buyer's attorney finally said, hey, we're pulling this from this company and taking it to another company. And that's another way.
You know what it is? We don't look at it like that. We don't look at it as one deal brings in, the fruit of others. But when it organically happens and you can keep, an agent happy who's usually in the dark with their seller as to what's happening, we now have an opportunity to show her. And she is, she's committed. She's committed in knowing that she's never worked with a title company that's done this before. It's all about people who actually want to work. They want to work. They want to do things that they were always used to doing. And just because there's less files now doesn't mean that means that you can say, I'm going to go to lunch today. I'll just get that done tomorrow. It's bullshit. I mean, and we're hearing more and more of it. It truly is. It's mind-boggling. Did you hear that I said mind-boggling, not mind-boggling?
I did.
Yeah. It's the famous line from Will Ferrell. Blades of Glory. It's an amazing movie, too. Did you ever see Blades of Glory?
I did, yes.
It's fucking hysterical. It's mind-boggling. Actually, maybe it's from, not a big deal. Next time. For next time, I'll bring that. It's been good. We're blessed. We're fortunate enough to be able to do what we want to do, to bring more people to us, and to give us the opportunity to do what we do best. Work with others, get things done, handle it. You don't have to worry about it.
Right, that's the thing. When people come to us, they know once we have the deal, they don't.
It's going to be handled properly.
Exactly.
And again, it all boils down to the system in which we have perfected, and that's the conveyor belt system. And it's the opportunity for us to continue to work on things all simultaneously at the same time, and that helps. Right? We're all in sync with one another. We all know what each other is working on. We all know what is on the horizon for that day. And it's imperative that we maintain that and we continue to show just overall greatness. And, we fake it till we make it.
We do. We fake it till we make it. But
and then we fake it till we make it, but the making it is there. The underwriter comes in somewhere in there of faking it till we make it and getting the approval to go ahead and make it.
and we have a great team.
Yeah, the team, and it even goes up all the way to our underwriters.
They do.
I mean, never have I ever.
It starts with our searchers and it goes up to our underwriters, and it just shows in our work.
Never have I ever had a close relationship with an underwriter contact that you truly do see all that they do for us. Their support, their cheerleading behind us. And, we feel valued by the underwriters that we currently have, that we're people. We're people that are working, and we're not just another title company that's how much volume are you bringing me this month? How much volume are you bringing me that month? And in essence, a lot of them get treated just as what we don't want to ever treat our clients as. I actually think that this was one of the most politically correct episodes that we've done. I mean, last time, hot doggy, that was wild. We feel as though we do need to educate. Yes. I think education is key because we want people to know that behind these beautiful faces, there is knowledge in there.
Right, we're not just pretty faces.
No, we're not just pretty faces at all. No, even though, that is a highlight, that's for sure. So we're the Title Rebels. We want to talk about great things. We want to bring on guests. If you're interested in being a guest on our show, what do they got to do, Deb?
Contact us.
Well, they got to contact us. They can contact us.
They can contact you directly. They can contact us, me directly.
Well, we know we have a lot of eyes on us.
Yes,
right?
we do.
There are eyes everywhere.
Everybody knows how to find us.
Everybody knows us. So, you know how to find us.
But we do want to thank everybody who has been watching our podcast and commenting and giving constructive criticism.
I love constructive criticism. It was actually one of the things that I would always say on an interview. How do you handle constructive criticism? It's only a part of making everybody better. So we want to hear from you. We want to know about topics that you want to hear. If you're shy to come behind the camera, we get it. Trust me. Actually, I don't get it because I'm a ham. So I live and I eat this up. But come on, give us advice. Give us advice to the clients that are out there. We want to know what you do in real estate, from your inspector.
So you're the ham, and I believe it was my aunt because ham's not kosher, but it's okay.
I know ham's not kosher, but I mean.
But no, all kidding aside, I was always known as my aunt used to always tell me, "You're such a character. You're just such a character."
All right, so I'm the ham and you're the character.
I'd rather be a character.
That's fine. I want to be a delicious spiraled ham on
glazed
in honey and all that. Yeah, I want all the glaze. I want all the glaze. Thanks again for listening. I'm Christina,
And I'm Debbie.
and we're the Title Rebels.